business, your network marketing business. So I help those with attraction marketing and network marketing to grow your businesses. So let's talk about this thing called the minimum disease. The minimum disease. Oh my gosh. Okay. Think about your potential corporate America experience. And think about whenever you've had a desire to gain a promotion or a pay raise, or you wanted some kind of recognition at work, or you wanted to climb the corporate ladder. My guess is if any of those things were your goals, you were not playing by the minimums. You were doing above and beyond so that people would recognize you, take notice of you, so you could earn that pay grade or pay increase, or even get that next promotion, right? So you were going above and beyond. You weren't just doing the minimums to get by, because in that environment, if you do the minimums to get by, I'm going to tell you, right? You're not getting that raise. You're not getting that promotion. You're not going to get the recognition. You're not going to climb the corporate ladder. So when people decide that they want more, then they increase their work efforts, right? So one of the things I've always been curious about, or I think is interesting about having a home-based business, is oftentimes the mentality of people is that they're just going to shoot for the minimums within their business. The minimum so that they can get free product, or the minimum to keep their rank status. Just doing the minimum. And yet they work super hard in their corporate environment. And I think, why do you work so hard for someone else without working that hard for yourself? So sometimes people, when they have their own business, they're thinking, they're minimizing their goals, they're minimizing their efforts, and it's reflecting in their business. And what they really want in their business is a strong community, and they want to create a strong culture, and they want to create a supplemental income that's going to allow them to leave their corporate environment. Or maybe they're just up for a really great challenge. Well, none of those things are going to take place if always shooting for minimums. So let's change that line of thought of, shooting for minimums in what you're doing. And, here's a really great analogy, and then we'll expand upon it. There is no such thing called a ground ball derby, right? So if you're a baseball fan at all, think about it. It's called the home run derby. They have a lofty goal, and it's big, and it's out there, and it's how many home runs can they hit over a period of time. There is nobody doing the minimum, which is the ground ball derby, to just get to the base. The goal when they're up to the plate is that they hit a home run every single time. That's their goal. Their goal isn't, hey, I'm just going to do a little bit and hope that our team succeeds, or hope that I make it to first base. So when you're growing your business, you got to play home run derby instead of ground ball derby. You got to shoot for the stars and land on the moon, right? So when you reframe your thought process as to what your goals are, you have to think about the question, and instead of what's the minimum I can do in order to maintain my rank, you want to change that question and ask yourself, what's the appropriate amount that I can do to reach my goals? What if you want to change the culture within your organization and your team, then whatever it is that you do is going to duplicate, right? So if you're doing the minimums, you can't expect your team to go above and beyond. They're going to want you to show that you're leading the path and that you're willing to do the work in order to grow your organization. And so it is that leading by example. So if you want to create a minimalist culture in your organization, then keep shooting for the minimums. If you want to influence those that are part of your team, or may become part of your team in the future, then you've got to show that you're willing to do what it takes to grow. So, one thing that I was thinking about is people join others who they see as successful in whatever it is that they're doing. So if you're finding that people aren't joining you in business right now, your team isn't growing, people are not reaching out to you and asking you, well, is it because you're doing the minimums? I mean, think about sports analogy. People want to play ball with the better ball players because their skills will increase. Like I used to play volleyball, and when I played volleyball, I was, I think I probably started at somewhere as a B player, but I went and I wanted to play with the A players because that's where my skills were going to increase. And then just think about that. When people are watching you grow your business, are they seeing you as an A player, a C player, a B player? And is that because of how you're growing your own business and you're just doing the minimum to get by? People may overlook joining you in business because you're not striving for your own personal success. So really, coming back to that minimums, don't have the minimum mindset. Have, what can I do to truly achieve my goals and the culture within my team that everybody is striving for success. So if you, I want to look at my notes, sorry. So what are some of those things that you're personally holding yourself back from? What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of success? Well, you won't know if you're going to be successful unless you actually go after it. So again, ask yourself the right question. What is the number that I need to hit my goals and my aspirations, right? What is that number that I need to achieve the income that's going to allow me to leave my 9 to 5? What are the number of orders that I'm going to need in order to achieve that next trip?